Hey listeners, I'm Melissa Kepler. Welcome to our podcast about all things lifestyle, business, and content, how to navigate through each, and the important role your mental and physical health plays in all of it. So, let's talk about it. Today I'm here with Shanika Boston, co-owner of I Am Fresh, leader of the Fresh Her movement,
Period.
and owner and designer of Broad and Luxe clothing line, which she's repping.
You hear me swishing today.
Swishing around and representing down at the bottom half there, and we love. I have some items of clothing as well.
Top too.
Oh, the jacket too. Period.
Broad Luxe denim.
Hello.
I'm out here doing new things.
Okay, well, I'll be placing an order shortly because I love my denim. So, all right, let's talk about all the things, Shanika. We have known each other for a very long time, though I know time is a weird concept for you.
Yes, according to me, I've only known her for a year.
So, I met Shanika in 2018, just because we had dancers who crossed over. We had some mutuals as far as our students go.
Right.
And so her husband and co-owner of the studio, Mark Boston, had reached out to me about coming to teach technique at their studio.
And help save our lives.
Help save our lives. I appreciate that, honestly. So I came in. At that point, the kids were very little because now we're talking about grown-ups.
Right.
Literal grown-ups.
That's a whole nother talk.
Because to me, 2018 was yesterday. Was like literally just happened.
If it's yesterday to you, it's an hour ago to me.
Right.
I'm like, where are we now?
No, literally. So maybe like every 2 years, Shanika would be like, well, now that you've been here at least a year, I'm like, Shanika, I've been here 6 years. So I've been at this studio.
I was here before quarantine.
Yeah.
I'm like, you were. Oh,
Truly.
man.
Truly. So I Am Fresh is their dance studio. It's been a big part of my life because I did work there for 7 years. 7 years I worked at I Am Fresh, and we've stayed connected since because obviously we worked very closely together, not only as the technique teacher, but I did start managing the studio and basically become a Boston myself.
Yes. First of all, you were like the anchor of the ship.
I appreciate that.
Held us down all the way. Helped organize our lives. Like, okay, she came with the Post-its, the
I'm laughing
Sharpies.
because the amount of people who, when talking about me, reference Post-its is out of control. I'm like known as being the Post-it queen.
And the marker. She's like, I got it. No, actually what was said was.
Right. I don't know how to exist without organization. And I like to plan in advance. I like a notebook. I like a planner. I like a timeline.
Look, I'm trying to figure out all my Melissa-isms because I'm older and I cannot function now without some sort of organization, which explains why my life is a mess.
No.
Okay?
All right, we're going to talk about all of it. We're going to talk about all of that.
Oh, yeah.
I know that I came in and I added a new system as far as like the way I did things and the way I sent emails and my dates and times. And I was a lot at first, I'm sure, for the Bostons.
You were fine by me.
I'm like to the T, and I'm like, I need this answer by 4 p.m. today. Because I was basically, I was registering for dance competitions. I was sending out our monthly newsletters. I was collecting tuition. I was sort of the first line of defense for the parents for a long period of time.
That liaison in between on both ends, advocating for both. So, yeah, you were like the middle ground. Pretty much grounded us out. I thought I grounded us out. You grounded the grounder.
I appreciate that. Sometimes I'm like, am I crazy? Am I too much? But people find that sense of order a little bit calming and enjoy that structure because it's the things that make me good at business sometimes make my life chaotic, because I've managed multiple businesses simultaneously for a very long time. But then when I'm at home and I'm telling Steve, that's not folded the right way, and this needs to be, he's like, go to work.
Go do something.
Go do something.
Oddly, those things are the things that balance us out too. If I get another teaching job outside the studio, I taught in Bristol at an elementary school. Surprisingly, it wasn't a lot for me.
Yeah.
It kind of balanced out. It took off the stress. There was no shows. I didn't have to deal with parents. It brought back in the fun aspect, new kids constantly. So it was it was like refreshing a little bit.
Yeah. Because you got to kind of remove yourself as being the business owner and just got to be the creative. Which
I loved
nice.
my manager. Good. Tell me what to do.
Right.
Somebody give me instruction.
That was actually me working for you.
Right. Come on. Tell Help me.
She's like, tell me what to do. Okay, so let's dive into I Am Fresh, business number one, and just how long it's been established, when it was established, how you started, where this idea came from.
All the things.
All of the things.
Okay.
Like the invention of the studio and you guys becoming business owners, entrepreneurs, doing it as a couple, all of that jazz.
Okay, so many factors went into the making of I Am Fresh. Okay, for one, me and Mark were in a hip-hop company of our own. Excuse me for the sniffles. And our company got an opportunity to audition for America's Best Dance Crew. Is that the name of the show?
Yeah.
ABDC. ABDC, America's Best Dance Crew. And at the time...
I used to love that show.
So, right, me too, right? So at the time, I was pregnant with Jordan. I couldn't audition, obviously. And it was the day of our baby shower. So Mark had opted out. He did not go to the audition. Came to the shower. The company did not make it. That was season 1. Season 2 rolls around. She's newly born. I'm a new mother.
You have
somewhere
a newborn.
In between.
Okay.
Yeah, I think she was just born or about to be born or something like that. Commercial came up. Season 2. And we're like, oh,
try again?
We should try again. And then he's like, yeah, I can link up these people. So, put a little crew together. He went on ABDC. They made it. Did not win, but on the show, it was Fresh Select from Philly, just, selecting different members from different crews, putting together a mega crew to represent Philadelphia. And when that didn't work out, ultimately, the truth behind it is Mark was kind of given an ultimatum from the company. Either you can stay with us, but you can't do 2 companies.
Okay.
So he ended up leaving. Got a regular job.
So basically the ultimatum was like, you stay in our company or you go do your own thing. Like,
right,
you can't have your own side business if you stay part of our company.
I think the perception was that it was 2 companies when it wasn't really. Just like a little crew. And I think because they were getting little gigs because of just leaving the show, it was like, you can get with this or you can get with that. So I don't want to make a decision. And I know he was told no decision is a decision, which is also true. No decision is a decision.
No, that makes sense. Yeah,
makes
you
sense,
made
right?
the decision
You
by
made
not
the
making a
decision
decision.
by not making a decision.
Absolutely makes sense.
So from that, okay, backtrack a little bit. I was more exposed to the commercial world.
Okay.
Our company was a hip-hop based foundation rooted in the foundation of hip-hop. So Mark comes from that world and also, street dancing. So from going on the show, he was exposed to commercial. I was like, oh, okay, well, dancers need foundation and they also need this. So why don't we provide something for the community to get both? So we started with workshops.
Just like pop-ups?
Yeah, like pop-up workshops, bringing in different people who he had met. We would have one foundation teacher and somebody from commercial world, trying to give them the best of both.
Did you have your own space at the time, or this was just renting out spaces?
We rented from oh my goodness, what was the name of that place? It was in West Philly. I'm going to remember when I get in a car. But we rented, and it brought in different members of the community, freestylers, and also people who wanted to do both. So from there, me, Mark, Amanda from the company that we were in, my bestie, and Blau, who was also a member from Fresh Select, we started I Am Fresh. We was like, oh, we can do this together. Then we started to rent from the JCC. We started a company. So we had an adult company first.
I didn't know you did classes at the JCC. I knew that you did like shows and recitals.
Yep, we
and
rented
there.
at the JCC first.
Okay.
The room with the pink walls in the basement. We probably had about 25 adults. We had 3 kids. Okay, we did a recital with 3 kids. Okay,
I think every dance studio starts out that way. I've worked at a lot of them, and I've heard that same exact thing. Like we had literally
3
did
kids,
two kids at a community center.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think because we had the adult company, it made it seem massive. Mm-hmm. They were hungry. From then, I was still working a 9-to-5 job. My first job ever. Okay, I was dying, girl. I was a home health aide.
Oh.
Can you imagine?
No. If I'm being so honest.
Oh, it's a home health aide. Changing.
I can imagine it in the sense you always have done well with like the kids and like it
was like nurturing,
yes,
right?
Yes, you have a very maternal
right.
instinct.
So
does make sense to me. The 9 to 5 does not.
I was losing it.
Because you're like a come and go as you please kind of girl.
So he found a space. He's like, I'm going to get us a studio. I was like, a studio? Can we afford that? He's like, it'll be good. So this is after doing the JCC for a year.
Okay. So you had a few students. You had a crew.
Yeah, we had a few students. We had a crew. We actually did a show. Right. Finished it out. Showcase, big recital. Okay, we're going to get a space. Okay, so one thing I'll say about Mark is he's somebody who's always produced. Okay?
Yeah, if he has an idea, it's not going away.
Right, it's not going away.
It's never going away.
It's going to happen. And you know, you meet a guy, not like somebody just a dreamer. He wasn't just dreaming and just talking just to talk. It's like, oh, this is what we want to do. You with it? And I'm like, all right, let's do it.
Yeah. And I've seen him make majority of his ideas like come to fruition. Like this man is determined.
He going to get it done.
Yeah.
So he's like, okay, well, while you're at work, finish up the studio. And I think I only worked there for a year.
Okay.
Thank God. It's the longest year of my life. The longest year of my life. But I did learn a lot.
Was that the only 9-to-5 you ever had?
That is the only 9-to-5.
That's crazy.
The only 9-to-5 I ever had. And it was brutal.
He said that was the longest year of my life.
I worked from 8 to 4. And I think it was what it was. Like, if you know me, I'm not super bougie. But I'm like, oh, no, we ain't doing that. So it was extreme. You ever see Dirty Jobs?
No. Like the show?
Yeah.
I know of it. I've never seen it, but
it's like the most.
I know of
my
it.
First. I'll be.
That's
quick.
A lot for someone who likes luxury.
My first 3 days, I worked with older adults. Some were bedridden. It was a lot.
It is not a job for the week, for sure.
First day, I said, transfer me to somewhere else. They transferred me to another house. Second day, transfer me to another house.
Oh my gosh.
Now, I think you can only get a certain amount of transfers. Yeah. So, okay, this is my third one. They like, look, girl, this is it. You got to stay here. So I was like, God, please, let this be a good fit. But the house had 3 women in it, and they were in wheelchairs, which was fine. And it was like, okay, you help them get dressed. You get them dressed. I was bathing, meds, taking them to doctor's appointments. You know, we were getting very personal, me and my client. I knew her very well.
Yes.
I mean, inside and out.
Right.
I was like, girl. So my first day, my girl had a blowout. A blowout.
Oh, I thought you meant like a hairstyle. I was like, she had her hair blown out?
I wish.
Oh, no.
I wish it was.
And you were out of transfers.
And I was... I was out. And you know me. I was like, I'm going to put on my cute little outfit, little nurse's thing, new sneakers. That was me. I was sliding in fecal matter, feet sliding. And I went home. I could still smell it on me. And Mark was like, how was work? And I just looked at him like, I hate you for this. I hate you for this.
Right? Job though to have is like the only job you've ever had. I'm in shock, to be honest with you.
Me too. I'm in shock that I lasted so long, but I feel like I learned a lot about medicine and just being nurturing more, because a lot of them don't have family who really comes to take care of them.
Now I understand your patience.
Yeah.
We sat down to start this episode. I was like, you're so patient, because we were talking about owning studios and how I have always been asked like why I never opened a dance studio. And I think someone would try me and it would be too soon in my career.
I don't know where
but you're
when
patient.
I prayed for patience. But let me tell you something. If you pray for something, the Lord will put you in situations to build that thing up.
Oh, you want patience? Let's see.
I don't know when I asked for this, but I don't want it anymore. Can I please be very impatient? But from doing that, we got good. And then it just grew. Iron Fresh just
started to like skyrocket.
Man, it grew. And I think because...
What year was this?
This was, Jordan.
2000. Is she turning 18 in February?
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy to me.
Yep.
You have an adult.
I know.
Okay, so her whole life
has been Iron Fresh.
Yeah.
Jordan was riding through the studio in her tricycle.
What your youngest is doing now.
Yes. All on the mats. All in the way. I feel like she was all in the way.
Did she always want to dance?
No.
Sometimes it goes either way, right? When you grow up in a dance studio, you either are like, this is all I know and I crave it, or you're kind of like, I'm tired of being at this dance
I think
studio.
she used it as a means to get friendships. She wasn't outside on the block playing with the kids because...
You guys had to work.
We had to work, and we didn't interact with our block like that.
Yeah.
We were always in and out, just working, right? She loved it there. It's like, oh, my friends are here.
Okay.
So when kids were coming to take class, she's at the door like, hey, you want to come play with me? So we're like, Jordan, you can't do that. So she figured that if I joined this dance class.
Okay. So you guys never forced her to dance. Mm-mm. She made the decision, like, right. I want to take class.
So when she was in the class, I did tell her, if you're going to do something, you have to commit to it. So you can't be in and out of these classes. She's like, okay, I'll take this and I'll take that. So she was developing as a dancer, but she was uninterested.
That's refreshing, though, because a lot of times when people, especially you and your husband, both being dancers, you know what I mean? If you and Mark are both these creatives, like a lot of times when that happens, like it's almost the children are brought into like, no, this is what the expectations are of you. This is our life. This is our career. The studio is going to be yours. And you kind of force your children into
and
these
I think
hobbies.
We didn't want to force her to do it, thinking about, the Joe Jacksons of the world. If you want to, have at it. Whenever you're ready, we're here.
Yeah.
But, just rock out, girl.
She's incredible.
Yeah, after quarantine, I think I looked at her one time doing a routine. I was like, oh, snaps.
Like, when did this happen?
She done grewed up in here.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, she's really good. I was like, did you see that one video, Mark?
I felt the same way about her with her technique. Because I started with them pre-pandemic, and none of the kids, when I first started, like really cared about technical dancing until I started introducing them to like, Ash and places where like, you're still getting hip hop and street jazz, but these dancers are also able to do all this other stuff. They were always the best dancers in those rooms, in the street jazz and the hip hop, and then they'd get into the tap or the contemporary or the ballet, and they'd be cowering in the back. And then they started taking it really seriously once that happened, and that was like an overnight thing where like their technique just skyrocketed.
Jordan is competitive.
She is. Very
I think it's something in her mind.
In a good way, though.
In a good way.
She's not a malicious person.
Like,
she's going to watch this and listen to this and be like, first of all, keep my name out of your mouth.
She's going to love it. Just like, what? They're talking about me? But that's something that I do admire. It's something inside of her that's like, I got to get that. If it's a flip, I got to get that.
That's her father.
I don't know how to skate. I'm going to learn. She figures out everything. So when I see her like down on something, I'm like, Jay, now it's not going to be long. Something in her, she find that inner fight, and she like learns how to do it. And she can do way more than me and Mark can do.
But you guys are also you do everything visual. You guys also put together shows and you're designing and stuff like that. She's taken that and ran with it. And now I cheer and I tumble.
One recital, do you remember? Oh, here's Jordan out tapping. Here's Jordan out teching. Here's Jordan out acting. Here's Jordan. I said, this girl, she can flip. I was like, wow.
Okay. Right.
Go us.
Right. She is the perfect balance of you and Mark, because she definitely has that, I'm gonna do it. There's nothing that's gonna stop me. I am so ambitious. And then she also has like the patience though too. She's kind. She's just you did a very good job.
I tried, girl.
And then now that she's becoming an adult, we were talking about this a little earlier, you started over. Because now, what is Cash going into first grade?
He's in first grade.
He's in first grade.
He's in there.
In my brain, it is still the middle of summer. Even though I'm a Halloween addict, it's okay. Everything's fine. Okay, so you started the space. It took off. You guys really just ran with it. I know there were times where your student enrollment was really large too. Like you had a ton of kids. So you were doing both kids and adults at the same time. What kind of time commitment did that look like? How often were you there? How was that working with Mark? Like being in a relationship, spending pretty much all your time together, right? Between the studio and your home life and parenting. What was the beauty of that? And what was the like, hey, this is honest. If someone's listening is like, hey, me and my husband or me and my significant other, we're interested in starting a business, because a big reason of why I wanted to start this show was for like-minded individuals to just hear the empowering words that we have to say of why you should do things, but also the reality of the struggles.
Right.
So give us a little window into into what that was like, living every moment with your husband in both the creative work
and building.
Yes.
So I'll say we were there every day. We were there every day. And me just coming from somebody who's a church gal, okay? It was either at church, zooming out to get to fresh, or I was missing it, which I was Lord, forgive me. But the commitment was super heavy and it was super hard, just giving up a lot of your time and growing and not knowing what that would look like. Mm-hmm. So Monday through Monday at I Am Fresh, I think that we were there most of the evenings, but would go there earlier because Fresh became a comforting space. Mm-hmm. So instead of being home, we go to the studio and order food or bring food there and just spent most of our time there just trying to grow everything. And yeah, it just was comfortable there.
That was home.
Yeah, it was home. It literally became home. Where were we at? Castor Avenue? Castor Avenue studio with the big radio in the back was like home. Walking distance from where we really live.
How many spaces have you had? 2? Or
yeah,
more?
Only 2.
2?
Mm-hmm. Only 2. We were there. We had the craziest landlord who harassed us. We were fighting tooth and nail to just stay afloat or trying to get organized in that way. We were learning a lot, being new business owners. Mm-hmm. We were like freshly married, new parents. Everything was new.
And did you have any business experience prior, or was just your creatives knowing what a creative space should feel like, but you were learning business
all at the same time, learning to pay things at on time, collecting payments, not mismanaging money, and
the budgeting and all.
Yeah, the budgeting. That stuff was not easy to do.
People don't realize with these, whenever you have a space, especially as a creative or an instructor or anything where you're providing a service in your own space, there's so much more that goes with it. There's music licenses, insurance, and like health codes. And there's a ton.
We learned about that early on, especially just being Black business owners in the neighborhood we were in. They were always calling L&I. So it's like just having our paperwork together, having everything in order. It was like nonstop. And then they would always tell us who called. And we're like, oh, the people who smile at us all the time? Of course. Yeah, those people. Everything was, learning curves.
Yeah. They always say and are very close with your biggest enemies. you always know them.
Talk about it. But just with being creatives, we were new. Other studios got to learn who we are. Debbie Allen coming to the studio. Can I tell you about when Debbie Allen called?
Please do. Did you fall down to the ground?
Girl, my inner 80s queen was like gagging.
Right.
Like growing up on Fame and Musical, Paula Abdul, like all these things. And first of all, can we talk about Mark putting my personal phone number on the billboard? Okay?
Wait, on a Fresh billboard?
On everything. It was my phone number. So I pulled up. He's like, I got a new sign.
Not a business line.
Why is my phone number up there? So when people call, we just want them to call my phone, okay? So to this day, I have PTSD. This is why I have another phone, and why sometimes the phone may not get answered because my phone was ringing nonstop all day long.
Oh, my God.
I'm like, do people really want to dance this much? Why are you calling at 11 o'clock about dancing?
Because they probably think it's just a studio number, and they leave a voicemail, and...
Yes. So when that California number came up, I'm like, California? So I ignored it. They called back again. I answered. I'm like, hello? They were like, hi, this is such and such calling for Debbie Allen. I looked at the number again. I was like, Debbie Allen? They were like, yeah, she's having an audition. Then I was like, Debbie Allen. She was like,
Debbie Allen.
Debbie Allen. And I was alone. So I was like, oh my God. I didn't even have nobody to be like,
excited, but yeah.
Yeah, they were doing Brothers of the Night. So I think they just wanted to have the auditions in a hip-hop space. Mm-hmm. Because they could have went to Danko or the Rock School.
Oh, they wanted to use Fresh for their audition.
Yes.
Okay.
So they were like, she's going to be there. I'm like, she's coming here? And they were like, yeah. They were renting the space.
Yeah.
How many hours? I was like, okay. They were like, tell your students. I'm like, oh, crap. This is a big one. And when Miss Allen came in, I was like, oh, my God. I'm like, do I look right? And she was just as regular. She was like, I think they think you're my daughter. Y'all do kind of look alike. She was like, come sit next to me. I was like, right here? She was like, yeah, just move my coat. I was like, you want me to touch your coat? You want me to touch your coat and move it and sit next to you?
She hasn't washed her hands since.
I sat all stiff, and Mark looking in the window like, oh, you are having the time of your life. I was. My mom was like, I know you're happy.
That's amazing.
Did
that help bring business to the studio afterwards?
It did. And it probably, people who may have wanted to come, because there's always been opposition with I Am Fresh. So people who wanted to come but didn't come, they was in there at that audition.
Right.
I ain't got no choice. Debbie Allen is here, so I'm going to Iron Fresh. Yeah. It helped a lot. I think it helped for people to get a better sense of who me and Mark were. And, you know, outside of the rumor mill, which the rumor mill was, okay, we're too commercial for the foundation scene, which had an issue with it. Mark, what you doing? You know, you bringing this.
Like selling out.
Yeah,
almost,
you
like
selling
out.
This video stuff. Yeah. So they were mad.
But then those are the dancers that want to make it. And
low key.
That's what you need, though.
No, what?
You need to learn that. You need to be versatile.
They want to make it, but they want to make it without anybody knowing they want to make it.
Right.
They secretly want to make it.
Right.
Right. So they weren't with it. And then.
That nonchalant.
Yeah.
If I do, I do.
Man, I ain't with that.
Yeah.
Hey, you want to do this gig? Sure. Yeah. Thanks for calling me. So it was like that. So we've always had opposition, and then us being the first in the city, in the tri-state area, doing what we're doing. Young black couple, hip-hop studio, just dancing different, entering the competition scene, because that was no easy feat either. We were a multicultural company, but in a sense, we're still a black company. We're the leaders, and just trying to break ground.
You've always had a lot of diversity in your company.
And it was good from ABDC because Fresh Select was a multicultural group. And it brought in a different demographic to us. So even our students, we've had students from the DMV, New York, travel a distance. So when people in Philly are like, oh, you guys are far. I'm like,
no. Yeah.
I got kids coming from
all over.
Delaware.
If you want the training,
if you
the
want
right
it,
training,
you come get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
But those are the same people who live in Philly who go to New York for class.
Right.
Just saying. Well, listen, also growing up in the dance scene, I know exactly what it is. So,
what can we do?
Right.
We do what we can.
So, you guys, what was the pressure having opposition and having factors working against you?
I think we just decided to ignore it.
Okay.
We've never really addressed any issues that people had. And I think I learned early on that first year that the scene wasn't really about Shanika personally. So I developed super tough skin, a very thick, high wall, and I could take people, I could emotionally detach myself. So I'm like, I'm teaching you. This is what it is. I have my family, I have my friends, and if we connect on another level, it's going to grow organically. But until that happens, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Was there anything that during that time create more conflict between you and Mark, or things that you had issues like deciding on because you had things working against you? We said earlier, you guys have very different personalities. So you could be like, no, I'm fine.
We balanced each other out in that way. I think he probably took
I think he connects a little more.
Yeah, he connects more. I think he probably at times may have taken my numbness or my standoffness as being uninterested.
Right. But it's more of a protection mode.
It was more my own protection. And just working as a couple, that was hard too. We're both creatives. We both have different ideals. Like, I think that me and Mark are polar opposites.
For sure. As someone who has been married to you guys.
our sister way. Yeah,
as someone who was literally in Boston for 7 years.
Yeah, we are definitely opposites. But somewhere it kind of circles back.
They always say opposites attract. Even though you're opposite as far as the way you react and think about things, you have so much in common. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of what pulls
I think my stance on things has been, and this may not work for another couple, with working with your husband, you're dealing with them in the home, at the workplace, in the car. Constantly. And Mark is somebody who doesn't know how to turn it off. He can't turn off that dancing switch. He's better now.
He literally has ideas in the middle of the night.
Yep.
As someone who worked for him.
I'm sure people will
As someone who would get a 4 a.m. text would be like, well, what if we did this? Like, Mark, save it for 9 a.m. at least. He'd be like, no, I don't want to forget.
I'm trying to get it out now.
I'll get a notebook.
Before I forget.
Yeah. But it's also really inspiring because I'm like, God, he's constantly coming up with really good ideas. Mm-hmm. But I was like, it's got to be exhausting because you're constantly coming up with new ideas.
He's tired now.
But you guys have still grown so much in completely different ways too.
Right.
Like, so, okay, before we dive forward into your other avenues of business, what is the biggest piece of advice you'd give to someone who's interested in going into business with their spouse?
My take on it is I've developed a sense of, if he has an idea, I want to help you execute. That's been my thing. There has to be some compromise. It may not work for everybody, but to keep my home situation functional, I don't want to argue about if the jacket should be yellow or red, if we should do this song or that song. Doesn't matter to me. They're going to look good in this, and we're going to kill either song.
So it's more of like a pick and choose your battles.
Yeah, I choose my battles. I'm like, okay, now people may say, like, how are you getting out your own creativity? I find my own time to get out my own stuff. That's probably where the other businesses and Fresher, like those type of things come into play with me just getting out my own creative stuff.
Which I want to dive into, because I think in what you're saying too, it helps that you guys, even though you are like-minded in dance and what you see happening and the things that you want to do, you being so different also comes to play in your dance style. Mm-hmm. So I've noticed when you're like choreographing something, it's very easy for Mark to be like, this is a Shanika piece, and you to be like, this is a Mark piece, and this is something that we can choreograph together, because you're both hip-hop based, but you have different niches, or you know what I mean, is like far as the styles that you dive into.
What's tricky about us is people can look at something and not know which one of us made it up.
Yeah, you're both very fluid.
Yeah,
because you can go hard and femme, and Mark can also do the femme.
Right.
And
I'm like, no, Mark did that. Right. Or if it's something, super groovy, they're like, oh, Mark. I'm like, no, I did that. So people never know what it is. But
do you think you've learned from each other?
I think we have. It goes back to our freestyle roots, where we can sponge up like, oh, that's kind of dope, and also being versatile and having different vocabulary, where we can tap into different stuff, because we both have different favorite dancers or different favorite styles. I may be a little jazzy because I watch musicals, and I like Janet Jackson's movement. Like, it's sharp and it's feminine.
But powerful.
Yeah. I'm not going to do a crump piece.
Right.
But I could. I don't know how well I'm going to execute it, because, that arch in the back may pop out a little bit, or I might smile, make it be a little happy crimpet.
You'd be the Hayden Panettiere from Bring It On. I love being a millennial and looking back at these old movies, and we're like, I thought she was like really tough in that.
Killing it. I knew, because Mark would walk by like, what is this girl doing?
It was bad.
I love the best corny movies.
They're so good.
They're the better ones.
As you get older, you start to realize, that part was made for the adults. Just like in cartoons, when you realize they make cartoons for adults to want to put that.
Inappropriate.
Right. But the kids don't get those jokes. It's always really subtle innuendos that like just enough attention for you to put that show on for your kids.
Right.
Because you find it funny.
Not feel guilty watching it.
Right, exactly. So, okay. So you've pulled from each other's styles, but you both are versatile. Like, you both have your niche, but also can cross over into each other's, which makes you also work together.
Not to mention doing all these things by ourselves. We've pulled in some help. Like, we've had hella admins. You were the longest one we've ever had. But I think I'll tell you the trick to why that went well.
I want to hear that, because I have my own theories too.
Yeah. But just doing all those things by ourselves. Yeah. Costumes, admin, advertising.
And it's lots to manage.
Trying to be creative, making up the pieces, teaching all these hours, implementing new things. That's like the cat in the hat, And
it's 24/7.
Towering hats 24/7.
To keep up.
Just to keep up. And ultimately to keep up with yourself. Our motto has always been, how can we top what we did last year? Even competitions, whatever, we've always forget who's going to be there, forget whatever. That was cool last year. Why don't we try to do this year? So we've always looked at ourselves as competition. We can get better at this in this area. Let's try to work on this and add more of this in our training moving forward. Yeah, that stuff has been hard.
What's your theory on why I was the longest standing administrator for the studio?
For one, I'll say, just as a business owner, pulling in somebody who has a heart to do what they're doing. So just finding a company,
like not doing it just to have a job.
Yeah, just finding a company member. Oh, can you help us with the admin? And you're like, yeah, sure. Eventually, it's gonna dwindle off. Or we've had people who want to start dancing. Wait,
can I come take class if I do this job?
Wait, you're supposed to be helping us here. Excuse me, yoo-hoo. Did you check people in? So just finding someone who has a heart to do what they're doing, and you did it well.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'm like, you can't just pull in somebody, oh, you want to teach dance? Sure. How long is that going to last?
No, I totally understand that. My theory on it is like a couple different things. That is definitely part of it. It's just a passion for me because that was a side job. Even though I was doing it as many hours a week as I still had a full-time job on top of that.
Another thing we brought in somebody to kind of middleman is to help us not argue with each other and pull each other's heads off. We needed that third person. We can't be arguing about nothing.
And I think a lot of the the admins that you had to were also younger. I saw things from like your point of view being like the same age as you guys. You know what I mean? Being older, being in this space, having the experience that I've had being in dance studios for as long as I have to. It's like I've already had coaching and admin experience and business experience.
What you were coming in to do.
Yeah. I was able to step away from you guys and just look at the business as a business. Knowing business, I was able to manage. But then I also understood you guys and was close enough with you guys that I could get into that creative side as well. And it's not that it was smooth sailing the whole time, guys. We argued all the time. We argued all the time, but it was never...
Not us.
Not us. Me and Shanika actually, I think we had one argument ever, and it was for 5 seconds.
Oh, yeah.
It was like 5 seconds, and then Shanika was like, all right, I can't stay mad. I don't want to stay mad at you. And we like hugged 5 seconds later. Yeah. But really, she was just diffusing me and Mark arguing.
Right.
But I'm so structured that I just like things to get done. I get annoyed if I can't meet deadlines. But I'm also have the creative brain where sometimes I'm all over the place. And so I understand their creative side on top of the business side. So those are two very different brains, business and creative talent.
Yeah, I don't want both of those brains.
They don't work together that well, but I do have both.
Just getting older, I do want both of those things because it's a level of comfort and peace that comes with that. Oh, this is our plan.
I love a plan.
And the plan gets disrupted by Mark Boston.
Mark, don't listen to this episode. No, we love him.
Look, I don't care what you got going on. This is what we put out already.
Only because he'll decide at 2 seconds before the event. He's like, we should have done it this way. Let's change it. No, it starts in an hour. We're not changing it. But I love that. Mark always has this ability to just know how we can make this better. And you and I see that as well. I spent time with you. I helped create the Feels program, right? Which is the exclusive heels program at I Am Fresh. And that was my baby for a while because, believe it or not, heels is a very technical style dance, which a lot of people think if I can put on a heel and look cute and shake ass, I'm a heels dancer. And I'm not saying you're not, but to teach it, you do have to have a level of technical experience because there's a lot as far as like ball heel and where you're standing and how you turn on your axle and where your core engagement is and pulling your hip. There's so much that goes into it. Anyway,
and
I digress.
I will say that if you can't dance in a regular shoe, you should probably wait to start in a heel.
There's a certain level of foundation that you really have to have before. And it's not saying that you can't be bad in a heel and work your way and get good and just be a heels dance, never dance in anything else. But I still think you should be in your ballet classes, your hip hop foundation, because heels incorporates all of that, right? Yeah, it incorporates your hip hop, your jazz, your ballet, your street jazz, not even just your regular jazz.
It's like adding another variable to the equation. Now try it on one leg.
Yeah. Anyone listening to this in the creative space, I don't want you to take this as you're not allowed to try new things. And if you love it and you want to get better, that's fine. I just want you to train appropriately because it will affect your body. And I don't want you having back pain and dislocating knees like I do, even with proper training. You know what I mean? There's just a certain level of understanding you need to have before just slapping on the heels and going. Like I said, I digress. That was to say, like, in doing the heels program, the very first season was very successful, but there was still so much takeaway of this could have been better. Even though it went well, we had a full program, we had full attendance, we had an incredible show, we had a full sold out show. It went well, but there's always like, damn, we should have done this or this could have been better.
That's all trial and error.
Right. And not being down on yourself, just knowing that this is cool. Now this was good. It can be better. I don't hate what we've done. I'm still happy to have put it out there. You're never going to be 100% ready for anything that you put out into the world. I hate to break it to you. As long as you're about 75 to 80% of, all right, let's do it, and then get better with the next one. Because if you're always waiting to put out a project till it's perfect,
Lord, good luck.
It'll never, ever happen. I look back now
and
too,
having
like
the courage to do it.
Yes.
Stepping out and creating something new, or just trying to do something that's in your mind and just watching it grow is courage in itself. There are a lot of people, our parents, when you look at them, you're like, what did you want to do when you grow up?
We were talking about this actually right before we started. We sat down to record. We were talking about Jordan and decisions for college and whether or not she wanted to do that. And this topic keeps coming up in these episodes because I am talking to a lot of creatives in the space of being like, you don't have to make those decisions right away. Your mind will change over time. But with social media being as prominent as it is today, it makes creatives second guess themselves way more than they would have had it not been. Nowadays, Instagram is your resume. TikTok is your resume.
No, I say when, not to cut you off.
No, go.
I always say that when God gives you a vision, he gives it to somebody else too. So
who's going to do it?
Who's going to do it?
Who is going to do it?
And going on Instagram, sometimes you're like, I had that. I was going to do.
Or you watch something, you're like, I could do that. I could even do that better. You find all this inspiration.
Sometimes I follow different people to just take my mind off of dance. So a lot of times I'm not even paying attention to dance. Chip and Diana games, like those stay-at-home moms, the workout girlies, and the inspiration is always there. Like I said, just having the courage to do these things.
To be perfectly honest, and I think this all the time, the reason why I have no angst about posting is because in my brain space, I'd rather be creating than consume. If I'm consuming more than I'm creating, I'm not being true to myself because I don't want to just keep watching video after video of things that I'm like, I could do that and I would really enjoy that.
That's a good take.
I have never watched videos and been like, this is cringe, this is cringe, this is cringe, this is weird. So if you're not thinking that when you're scrolling, why are you assuming people are thinking that about you and your content? The only people who would ever feel that way about you are people who know you on a personal level. And a lot of that time, that stems from the lack of confidence to make their own content or a jealousy thing, or there's always something more. But if you are making a decision to go outside of your friend group, outside of your family groups with these ideas and these conversations, to put yourself now out on the World Wide Web, that content is for other people.
Shows. I'm like, okay, it's been 16 years of I Am Fresh. I'm like, my friends are all showed out. They have been all my shows. So now if I do a show and I don't invite them, they're like, why you ain't telling me you had a show?
Right. It's not crazy.
I ain't want to bother y'all, so I'll invite you to a bigger show.
I don't want people to feel worried about what their friends and family think about their content, because if that were the case, then you would only be sharing that content specifically in these small groups.
I think if there is a worry, I think it's internal. How many likes am I going to get? Are people going to share it? Are they going to repost it?
I think what we're saying goes hand in hand, right? It feels embarrassing to post until I have 300 likes, but it didn't feel embarrassing to post, but then I only got 15 likes, and now I'm like, oh, why didn't anybody like it?
Like,
you know what I mean?
Put some time into the post, and it does good, but the one post, I'm like...
Right. You know what it is? Easier content, less edited content does better because it's more relatable. I've been posting more TikToks than usual. Main reason being, well, I'm really diving into content right now. So for me, it's just nice to keep my platforms moving, keeping them steady, keeping the engagement flowing. So even though my TikToks have nothing to do with what I'm working on as far as like fitness and podcasting and streaming, it's a cute little outlet, but I stopped thinking about it so much. And then one night, Steve starts cooking dinner, and I had a couple glasses of wine, and I just walked in my front room. My hair's in a messy bun. And all I did was a video of me sipping my wine. And all I wrote was, the more I post, the less I care. 500 likes later in an hour. Because that was relatable. The more I post, the less I care. And then I was like, okay, I need to stop overthinking this. And if something popped in my head, instead of being like, oh, I got to remember to record this later, I do it right then and there. Stop caring. Start posting.
Okay, I think that I feel like I'm in a new era of my life as far as social media.
Yeah.
I want to post things that are meaningful.
Yeah.
But
why not both?
I want to do both, but I'm like, this is where I am in my life. Like, oh, home decor.
Right. And
Or,
but you can do all that. I think TikTok has given us the freedom to not be taken or not to take ourselves so seriously. So we can still post all the content that we're really passionate about, be inspiring, be influential, and still be a silly little goose.
I want to help people.
So do it.
All people care about is what I'm wearing. I'm like, I am not even a superficial girl.
So then just start posting that stuff. You know what I mean? I'm a very passionate person, and I am a believer that I can do anything that I want to do. Like, you can never tell me, no, I wouldn't have quit my full-time
like you can
financial security if I didn't think I would be successful in these things. And I've spent the last 8 years building an online community that I actually interact with that now are paying attention to what I'm doing on the other platforms. And that just allowed me to be really silly and really free. And I never bite my tongue on anything. I'm loud and I'm boisterous. And then I go into my brain space like, okay, I want to really touch on some really important topics. I have experience as not just a creative, but as an educator for a really long time. I have business experience for 20 plus years. Like, I have 20 plus years of experience in so many different fields, and a lot of them relating to each other. And I wanted to do exactly this, start a podcast that would help other like-minded individuals feel that avenue. And I was like, okay, I need to make sure that like stream stuff is nowhere to be found. I can't post my body paints anywhere. People won't take me as seriously if they see all this other silly content that I post. But then you go on TikTok and I'm watching like multi-million-dollar plastic surgeons doing TikTok dance
with a body on the table.
Right, with a
body on the table.
And they're like, "Oh, is this why I'm in the self-checkout line and there's no one at the register?" So millennials have paved the way for a whole different type of mindset where we don't have to be the serious 9-to-5 dinner on the table, X, Y, and Z, like the college expectations, all of that has started to go out the window because we're breaking all these generational curses of believing we have to live, act, and breathe a certain way if we want to be successful in life. And success is only measured in one specific way.
Yeah, but learning how to navigate those spaces and feeling comfortable enough to do so. Shout out to the millennials for that one. At least they did one thing for us.
Don't you feel a lot different as an adult than you expected to feel as an adult?
I do. And I told my cousin I never imagined being here. I'm 42.
Period.
42. Like, what does 42 even... I'm like, how should I be dressed? What should I be doing?
Right.
What does my account look like at 42? I've never imagined this space. And what type of work should I be doing? And like you said, any work that I want to do. And I can be doing anything as much as I want to do. And just committing to what that looks like. So I think that people's issues too is just committing to that stuff. You spoke earlier about batch creating and you like just doing a lot, and even though you haven't put your stuff out yet like you wanted to, you being well prepared to do so.
Correct.
So that you can take it and run with it. So
yeah, it's not that I'm not working on everything. That I've teased about a bunch of different projects, and it's like people are kind of like, okay, well, I don't see it. You don't need to, but my laptop is filled to the brim.
Right, she's on go.
Because once you do see it, it's not going to stop. But I don't want to get to a point where I'm so worried that I'm sick for 2 weeks or something happens and I can't record or I can't edit, or I'm just, you just never know. Life is life. Nothing ever goes according to plan.
Yeah, I think that's probably my biggest struggle is navigating all those different spaces. I haven't found my inner Melissa to lock down this, and to just be in these different spaces, like being a mom and work and my clothes. Most of the time, if I'm finding some time and I have nothing to do, it turns into like, ooh,
you just want to veg.
I can just sit and do nothing.
A great segue. You do have a clothing line, though. This is a passion project of yours that you love and you invest time in. It's Broad and Luxe. When did it start? How did it start? Where do you find the time for it?
Well, I think I've always been like a tinker when it came to clothes. If you ask my mom, I always was cutting stuff up, cutting something off of something, adding something on. Or in my mind, I need a bread plaid this with this, cut like this, but it doesn't exist. How can I get it? Let's make it. So I'll figure out some crazy way to make it on my own. I have no sewing experience. I can sew by hand. I will glue. I used to glue something together. If I had a staple gun, I'd staple. I'll do the craziest stuff. But just finding things that I would want to wear. And I think just from I did like some sweatpants and some sweatshirts, and then did some t-shirts. And Mark showed me how to work this. What program did I have? Procreate. So I would go on Procreate and just draw different things, trying to figure out how to do this. And my mom told me about fabrics and stuff a long time ago. So I'm like, oh, this is denim, this is good silk, this is good leather. So I know how to navigate the fabrics, but figured out how to, get some clothes going. So I just started with t-shirts and sweatshirts. Like, here's something's coming. I feel like my end goal would probably be basics that can be worn anywhere, because my mindset is probably like, I don't have money, the inner little girl in me. I don't have money to get these expensive things. So I need functional clothes that I can wear any and everywhere. Like these pants, I'll wear them with a heel, child. So just taking clothes, being able to mix and match them from this place to this place. I can go from the studio to the club or out to brunch or do anything with. So just making those types of pieces that I can move all around.
And so it was born.
Broad and Luxe is my street side mixed with my chic side. Broad from Broad Street, me being a Philly girl. So it was just like Broad Street meets luxury, like that street style meeting something chic or something, just something casual that I can dress up and down.
Yeah. Love it.
Thank you. That's been hard with probably going back to me being consistent and me wearing all those hats and figuring out how to or what I should be doing at a time.
Yeah, kind of like blocking out your time so that you can do all of the things.
What am I doing right now? Like, I'm sitting here now, and my brain is like, okay, I got to do this later. But I think that's been my biggest struggle. And, Cash has autism. So figuring out, okay, what he needs, how to move him along, getting him whatever it is he needs. Jordan's a senior. Mom hat is on
and that's
overload.
2 different mom hats. Because
2 different mom hats.
A first grader and a senior.
Yes, 2 different mom hats. Even, okay, is Jordan getting my time also? Because Cash needs my time. She needs different type of time.
Yeah. A boy and a girl, an adult and a child.
Oh, my goodness. Where am I showing up being a wife? How am I showing up for myself? Okay, am I planned my class? Is this information out? How am I being a daughter? Oh, I haven't talked to my brother.
I think that's the most relatable thing of everything that we've talked about today. Everyone's always trying to do everything and be there for everyone, and then just finding time to recharge your battery too on top of it.
I think mine may come out in rebellion, where I'm like, leave me alone. No, I'm hungry. Oh, okay, I ate. Y'all got to figure it out. And I don't want it to come out in that way. And I wish that I could be like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and know what I'm doing all these days, even when I'm taking time for myself. And if I'm leaving the studio at 2, I'm leaving at 2. Like, okay, guys, studio's closed. I'm not dragging out, leaving at 3:30, closer to 4. And then that went into my supermarket time. And now laundry's backed up.
No, I totally understand
that. The cause and effect is crazy.
We said also, even if you do block out your time, it's never going to go exactly how you'd like it. So learning how to just pivot in those situations where like, okay, I didn't leave the studio at 2. I left at 4 actually. And now I've lost those 2 hours I had planned to go to the store. So now how do I pivot?
Yeah.
Not just assuming the day is a wash. Because I think that's the hardest thing too. For me, who has a little bit more time, just in the sense of not having children, right? So I have more time for me, but I have more issues with assigning that time because I have more free time. I tend to veg more than I should because I can do it later. I'm sitting on hours and hours and hours of content that I need to edit and it needs to get done. And then I still have to, throughout the week, still record more content. So I can't let it fall behind. I have to still find a way to manage myself no matter what.
Learn to give myself grace now.
It's important.
My notes are filled up, random, probably disorganized, but I'm like, today. If I can get done 2 of those things, or even 1, me doing the one thing off the list of 100 and somebody celebrating, that is me. I'm like, Mark's like, do we do this? I'd be like, nope, but I sent the emails.
Right.
I did this one little thing. I'm excited because if I didn't do that, I would just be like in a shaming rut. You didn't do anything today.
Yeah. You need something to make you feel productive and successful in your day. But it can genuinely just be one thing. I have a little rule for me, if you want a Melissa-ism.
Please.
Before I write my list for the day, if I got up and I made my bed and then I took a shower, I put those things on my list. So as I'm sitting down to write my to-do list, I will write, made my bed, brushed my teeth, took a shower, let the dog out. So then as I'm writing my list and I go back, I'm like, cool, already did 4 of these things. It just changes your brain chemistry to be like, today's already off to a great start. A lot of times people like run around the house quick and grab breakfast, grab coffee, and they're like, okay, now I got to sit down and be productive. And it's like, no. Don't discredit what you've already done today. If before you wrote your list, got up, got the kids out the door, got them to school.
How about that we made a list, Like that stuff is important.
And when you organize your list, specific to me, something that I find helpful is the things that take less time, I will write at the top. And I will focus on the items. If this will only take me 5 minutes to do, I'm going to do it. Versus I know a lot of times and a lot of people that I've come across being like, that email will only take me 5 minutes. I'll do it later. Let me start focusing on these things that are going to take up most of my time. Why? Cross the things off your list so then you feel less guilty about sitting for so long on that one thing.
I do the smaller things first.
Yeah.
And then that big thing, I give myself time to tackle. I can get to this big thing when I get back home, this amount of time, and I can at least get half of that done.
Absolutely. We're on the same page. So, okay, the last little thing that I want to dive into before we call it Fresh Her. So, Fresh Her is an extension of Fresh. It's a femme presenting program that you have. I just want you to kind of explain what that is, why you do it, and what you're hoping to accomplish with it.
So Fresher has always been a thing. So at first it started as wordplay. I'm fresher than y'all. And with the girls, I've always adopted the girls as like my children, and I've always had a heart for them. It's not easy in this space in the entertainment world. So I've always tried to uplift them in some type of way, encourage them, teach them things, encourage them to do things that I never did, that they still have. And I mean, I could do it too, but encourage them to do things that I didn't tap into yet. So just creating a safe space, a healthy environment for them to, even if it's just talking, it doesn't have to necessarily be dance, just an environment of sisterhood.
A safe space for women.
A safe space, probably connected to my mom and her love for women and children, and just helping women with some sort of life issues to rehabilitate and get acclimated back into the world. Teach them how to get jobs and get sober, or just emotionally heal from life trauma. Just encouraging all that. It's like waves of Fresher. We have like classes, encouraging them to freestyle, like sessions, powwows, get-togethers, so that we can have that moment of exhaling, doing stuff like this, creating different bonds with the girls.
I know you've done etiquette and things like that before, too.
I was about to say etiquette.
Because you do different ages.
Yeah, different ages, teaching or encouraging the young girls to properly groom themselves, and confidence-boosting activities, and teaching them how to walk, and teaching them how to tap into the gifts that they have. We all have different gifts, whatever that may be. Not to give up on themselves, and not to wait for anybody either. Sometimes you can grow up in a home without a mother, or not without a female figure, but being able to look outside of that, finding somebody and connecting with, and teaching them how to just love on themselves early. Yeah, just to love on themselves, first and foremost, before them little dusty boys get involved.
Finding just like strength, confidence, and who they are, and being able to stand on their own.
Every aspect of their life, any area. That's really big.
100%.
I remember being in a program when I was younger, and it encouraged those same types of things. And I think my mom always said I had like big faith. I'm going to be rich. I'm going to do this. I'm going to be famous. I'm going to do that and this. And they're like, okay. Okay, we see you, girl. I've always looked up to courageous, confident, outspoken women who were fearless and unapologetic. They say that a lot. But women who speak up for themselves, not afraid to sever relationships, whatever that may look like, standing on business and going in any field and doing their big one.
Severing relationships, that's a hard one. I've been friends with them for 20 years, or I've been doing this hard. Is all I know. Kind of just making a decision for yourself and pivoting away from everything you've ever known to make that happen.
How hard it is for people to genuinely walk in who they are?
Truly. We spend so much time masking for other people.
Not wanting to offend anybody or, oh, this person won't like me. It'll happen anyway.
Yeah.
The best thing that somebody can do is be who they are. It's only one Melissa. It's only one Shanika. And you're like doing yourself a disservice by not being that in the world. Who cares? When you think about it, some people give other people too much credit. People aren't even thinking about you like that much.
You're giving other people power that they shouldn't have over you. They don't even know they have that power over you. You're building it up to be something bigger in your head than what it really is.
I remember freestyling at the Bubble House we used to go to back in the day. And I wanted to practice house. And I'm like, oh, these dancers are so great. And I was on the wall. And I just would inch off the wall one week, inch off the wall the next week. And then I started doing this.
And then you become other people's inspiration.
I realized nobody was paying me any mind. Once I like broke out and danced, and then somebody was like, oh, good job, bye-bye, have a nice day. I wasted all them weeks on the wall like thinking somebody was, when I started dancing, they were going to get out notepads and cameras, start judging me. Nobody was paying me no mind.
No. I know like dancers that would listen to this episode, you know, when you go into a room, there's always going to be someone who's better than you. And even if you get to the point where like you are the stand-up person in that room, you're going to go somewhere else where you're not even in the top 5.
It's ever going anywhere.
It's always. But you want that. If you're always going into spaces where you're the best, you're not going into the right spaces. You're playing it safe.
You should want that. Everybody don't want that.
Like push yourself to the point where like you put yourself in spaces where you're not the best anymore, because you're not going to grow if you just do the same things over and over again.
And it gets boring.
The lesson of the day: put yourself out there. Don't be afraid to be your most authentic and unapologetic self. Take chances, your best self. Take chances, and you don't need to make life decisions
permanent.
Like you can change every 2 years, every 1 year, every 6 months.
Right.
You have the option to restart and reinvent yourself as many times as you like,
even
as
as
often
an adult.
as you like.
And adults don't even.
Especially as an adult.
Because
as you become an adult, you have more experience to make those changes with. You have more understanding of the things around you, and you might have seen or done a couple things that you're like, wait, no, that's what I want to do. All this time I thought it was this. Life happens. And how many times have you seen a list of famous, influential people who didn't get their start till 35, 40 years old, 55 years old?
And I love those stories. Even listening to the struggle part of it. You're not the only one struggling. You're not the only one who has hardships. And it doesn't mean my pain is worse. Pain is pain. I wouldn't say you haven't struggled like you didn't struggle like me. God doesn't put more on you than you can bear. That's the only thing that's different. But go out, try it again.
Yeah.
Do something else. Have a clothing line. Start a company. Get a building. Get the car. Go to school. Take the class. Whatever is going to help you to evolve and elevate. And my inner Madonna kicking. I get bored myself. I can't do the same things over and over again.
Yeah, I think it's a matter of how you bounce back from the pain.
Because the bounce back, that's the real lesson. How you get back up again. Now, I grew up on
and
Rocky.
How many times you're willing to get back up.
Yes, come on, Rocky.
Yeah, your failure is not going to be one time. And your failures are going to be different sizes. Some are going to be minuscule. And it's like the quickest, no one even saw that one, dusted under the rug. And you're going to have some really out loud, really open, in front of everybody's faces failures, and that's still just as okay as a tiny little one. It's all about how you bounce back, how many times you're willing to bounce back, and just how you respond and react to those things, because the only person in control of your life is you. Truly only you. And if you spend time blaming other people or other circumstances, you're never going to find the success in anything that you want to do. Shanika Boston, where can we find you? Name all your businesses one more time, all your tags.
Okay. I am fresh. On Instagram, I am fresh _. Fresh is spelled with a PH, PHRESH. Shanika QP, which they've named me. Queen Fresh. Shanika QP. Shanika _QP. It's something like that.
I don't know. Just look for just search Shanika QP.
And Broadlux, BRDLUX. And that's on Instagram. Yeah.
Perfect.
Tap into the kid.
Yeah, so make sure you give Shanika and the businesses a follow. So if you'd like to continue following her journey and the dance studio, I'm sure if you have any questions or it's a space that you want to enter, we're always all available to like reach out and find,
Yeah.
Hopefully we can inspire you guys. So check it out, and we'll see you the next time. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
I loved it. I love you.
Great times with wine.